readers, it's Lori. Welcome back to my channel, Books, Ink, and Paper. Today is an October 2019 book haul revisit where I will pick one book that I acquired a year ago in October to add to my October 2020 TBR. I've done this series all year in an attempt to at least get some of these backlist haul books read and then decide whether to keep them or unhaul them. So last October I did really well because I knew that we were ramping up to the Advent Book Exchange and I was going to get 25 books. I ended up getting 27 or 8. Anyway, I was trying to keep it down at this point, and I did okay, I guess. So let's talk about what I hauled in October, and then I'll make a decision about what I want to read this October. So the first one is Jacqueline Winspear's Elegy for Eddie. I got this in a little free library, I think. I ended up getting it for free somehow, I remember. And I have always wanted to read Jacqueline Winspear. She's a mystery author from the UK, and she's very popular. She's a best-selling author, and this is part of the Maisie Dobbs series, which a lot of my friends like and a lot of people I follow on BookTube like. So I picked it up because it was available, and it is not the first Maisie Dobbs novel, and I've read none of them. So that is a consideration for me. This one came out in 2012, so they're not all new, although she is still publishing in this genre, in this series, but the first one is actually called Maisie Dobbs. So this is about a man in London who I think sells things on the street in a market cart, and he's murdered. And so Maisie Dobbs' father was friends with him, and she carries on to try to find out what happened to his friend Eddie. So that's a possibility for sure. Then when I went to Prague a year ago, I can't believe it's been a year ago already, I picked up a copy from a Prague bookstore of The Metamorphosis by Franz Kafka. It is in English. I cannot read it in any other language. It's also called The Retransformation of Gregor Samsa. If you've never read it, I have read it. This was published in this edition, this Vitalis edition in 2019. So this is a great copy of it. I talked about this last year, but it has great end papers with the manuscript in his writing. I got a Kafka bookmark to go with it. The Metamorphosis, so it's interesting. This would work. I am also trying to read only horror thrillers in October, and so the 4 books I hauled will all work for that. So that's what's fun. So the Metamorphosis would work. It's short, it's nice and short. I might be able to then add 2 to my list of these. That would be fun. But it also has illustrations, which I love, and a little ribbon to hold your place. What a great copy of this. I wish I had gotten more, but I had a limited amount of room in my suitcases. And then on Audible, I think, was it Audible? Let's see. I picked up The Shining Girls by Lauren Bukes. And this is also a thriller. Gosh, I'm just going to pop a card for you to be able to see it. This is also a thriller, and it's a serial killer thriller. It's fun to say. So this follows it goes from Depression era Chicago to, I guess, the 80s maybe. And it's about a serial killer who continues to murder women who have this sort of super intelligence or are very highly successful. I'm not sure what, but there's a series of murders that occurs, and he only targets women who are of a certain profile. And that's why I guess they're called the Shining Girls. And so I'm assuming that this is an attempt to solve that crime. So that's interesting for sure for me. I love novels about serial killers. The other one I hauled is What She Left Behind by Ellen Marie Wiseman, although I think now she goes by Ellie Marie Wiseman, but that's how the title is on Audible. This has been on my to-read list for years, actually. So this is a story of Izzy, whose mother fatally shot her father and is sent to prison. And Izzy is, I think, adopted or put in foster care, doesn't see her mother anymore. And the foster or adoptive family, let me figure out which they are, foster parents. Her foster parents work at a museum, and they're asking her to help them to catalog some of the items in the museum. She's 17 at this point, and she discovers some secrets about her family and some things in her history that she didn't know. And so it's kind of a thriller, suspense, and I've heard that a lot of people like this author. So I've never read anything by Ellie Marie Wiseman or by Lauren Bukes or by Jacqueline Winspear. So those would be 3 new authors to me. So let's look at the Goodreads ratings. 3.89 for What She Left Behind on Goodreads. And my friend Lindsay from Lindsay's Little Library gave it 5 stars. My friend Carol gave it 5. Vonda gave it 5. Allie gave it 3. Somebody else gave it 5. So high praise from my friends for sure. Let's look at Elegy for Eddie. Although I am honestly worried about reading a Maisie Dobbs outside of order. One of you, when I hauled it, I think, said read them in order. So there's that. But that got 4.02 stars. And my friend Rochelle gave it 4 stars. My friend Diane gave it 3. My friend Nancy gave it 1, but she didn't like it. She likes the other Maisie Dobbs, but didn't like this one, obviously. 1 star. I have very rarely given a book 1 star, but okay. The Metamorphosis. When I read this the first time, I gave it 5 stars. It has 3.82 on Goodreads. Keely says, what a weird novella. True. It is weird. 5 stars from her, 3 stars from Natasha. A lot of people, the plot is really weird. And so I don't think it's for everybody, but it would remind me of Prague again too, I think. So that would be good. The Shining Girls got 3.54 stars. And my friend Sarah from Sarah's Nightstand gave it 4 stars. My friend Lisa gave it 4 stars, said it was excellent. Wow. The POV and year changes with each chapter, which makes it hard to follow at first, but stick with it. So 3.54 for that. I'm not going to pick up Elegy for Eddie. I think you've kind of seen that starting to come to my realization that I want to start with Maisie Dobbs, and I have access to them, I think, at my library for sure. So I'd rather start with the first in these series and go through. And having said that, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 before this one. Why don't I look at that when I haul things? Okay, so I'm not going to read Elegy for Eddie. I do think I want to reread The Metamorphosis in October. It's a great, creepy little read, and it is very short. And so I am going to read that. Now, the question is, will I read? It's so hard sometimes to decide. All right, I'm going to read The Metamorphosis, and I'm going to listen to What She Left Behind. And if there's time, I'll listen to The Shining Girls too. But Ellie Marie Wiseman has been on my list of books I wanted to read for a while. So that's how it's going to go. Yeah, I feel good about that. Thanks for joining me today. I hope that you enjoyed taking a look again at these books if you watched my channel last year, or for the first time if you're new. Welcome to new subscribers. Again, this is happening a lot lately, and I appreciate it. And I am so thrilled to hear from all of you and your comments. Let me know what you would have picked if these were yours, if this was your choice. I do or will have a You Pick My Read video. I'm not sure which order these are going to go out, but there's going to be that. So make sure to watch that so you can choose one of my reads for October. And as always, happy reading. Bye.